Hello, it's Brandon Kip back with another video, and today I'm going to give you my final 2025 NFL mock draft. Um, I wanted to use the last simulator, but it sucked. Ads kept popping up on the screen, and when it wouldn't say the whole draft, just the team's picks. So back to the NFL mock draft database. I'm not paying for a Pro Football Focus subscription. So because I don't need it. But so I'm in the mock draft database. That's what I always use. All right, so with the first pick, it's a lot. Cameron Ward. Same thing with Travis Hunter. It'll be interesting if they will announce him as a receiver or a cornerback. Um, no, I'm sorry, receiver slash cornerback or just receiver. Because Andrew Berry, the Browns general manager, said that he was going to be playing receiver to start off with. With the third pick, I really want to have the Giants trade out of the pick. So, like, maybe Jets can get Sanders. Well, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't seem realistic if Joe Shane and Brian Dable want to keep their job. They're not going to be passing up on Carter. You just can't. As a Patriots fan, I really hope they take Shedeur Sanders so the Patriots can get Carter, but they're not doing that. So, and then the Patriots at 4. If it was me personally, I would go ahead and take Ashton Genty, but I think Will Campbell is the player they have in their mind that they want to take. So, what I'm going to do, since there's been rumors of Jacksonville taking Ashton Genty at 5, I'm going to have the Patriots trade down to 4, and I'm going to have the Raiders send their 4th round pick back in return. Um, Let me throw in a third from next year. A third from next year, 4th from this year. Raiders move up to number 4. We'll take Ashton Genty. I think Pete Carroll really needs somebody that's like Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, to have his offense thrive. All right, with the 5th pick, I was gonna have the Jags take Will Campbell. I'm not gonna screw the Patriots in the foot like that. So I'm gonna just have Mason Graham at 5. That's been the pick. That's been the consensus pick, and the pick that happened the most. Jags fans are tired of it. I'm sure they want Genty, but I'm going with consensus here. With the 6th pick, Will Campbell. There you go. Patriots still get their guy after trading down. I think he will. I think the Patriots will find a better left tackle in the future, but for right now, he's going to be the left tackle and project Drake May. But still, in the future, if he turns out to be somebody like Zach Martin, an all-pro guard, that's a win-win of a pick. The Jets, I know a lot of hype's been on Tyler Warren, but I'm going to go Armand Membo because that's what I find the best fit is a right tackle. They need a right tackle. Saying the same things you probably already heard, but the fit is just too good to pass up on. So with the Carolina Panthers, everybody thinks it's going to be Jalen Walker, but I'm going to go a different route. I think that Bryce Young still needs a number 1 receiver. You'll say, well, they drafted Jonathan Mingo last year. Well, I'm tired of hearing the complaints from everybody saying, "Oh, Mingo's not a number 1 receiver. Mingo's a number 2 receiver. He's not the type of receiver to be a number 1 receiver." Well, my comparison to McMillan is Mike Evans, And Dave Canales got to work with Mike Evans for one season. And I just think that that's they could use that more. I mean, sure, they would love Jalen Walker, but it needs to be about Bryce Young because there have been so many doubts of him not being the guy, and it's probably going to be Jalen Walker, but or a trade down. But I think Ted McMillan is a pick for New Orleans Saints. Um, I'm gonna have another trade here. I'm gonna have the Saints because everybody thinks that the pick is gonna be Michael Williams. It might be a little too high, might not. But what I'm gonna have to do is to make sure the Colts get Tyler Warren. Let's send a fifth for next year. I'm gonna have the Colts trade up to 9, around where around where Brock Bowers went last year. I'm gonna have them send a fifth next year, third this year, to move up, and they will be taking Tyler Warren because I've seen mock drafts where the Bears the Bears are taking Tyler Warren to pair up Cole Kmet so they can have two tight end sets. But I would take Amarion Hampton over Warren if I were them. I think Hampton's a better fit than or better pick overall than taking Tyler Warren um, for their offense. So Indianapolis goes up and they get Tyler Warren and make sure Bears don't get him. Because I've had some mock drafts where they can get him at 14, but just to be safe, that the for the Bears not to take him and another team trading up between the range of 11 and 13 to get him. So for the Bears, I'm actually going to go Jalen Walker here. I know you can say, "Oh, Marion Hampton, maybe." I mean, they have there's a couple players like offensive linemen, like a maybe taking a left tackle or something like that. I think they should be good for now and can try to take a left or right tackle in the second round. So the San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to have them take a little bit of a reach here. Um, well, this guy's been a riser. Some people like him, like his skill set more than Mason Graham because he has better ability to get after the quarterback. So I'm gonna select Walter Nolan for the San Francisco 49ers. So for the Dallas Cowboys, next up, they need a receiver other than CeeDee Lamb. That keeps being said. Matthew Golden, it's a perfect fit, and it's the exact receiver that they need. For the Miami Dolphins, I think that Jahdae Barron is the guy that Chris Greer is going to take because he's versatile defender in the secondary. Um, and they need a better slot than Coho. And if they trade Jalen Ramsey, they're going to 100% need him. And I've been taking Will Johnson a couple times, but Will Johnson keeps falling. So that's why I went with Barron over Johnson. For the Saints at 14, I'm just going to go ahead and take Michael Williams. Um, yeah, I think it's the best fit for the Saints right now. Cam Jordan is about to be retired, and Philadelphia Eagles loved Georgia defenders, and Kellen Moore came from the Eagles, so you're gonna do the same thing. Falcons is gonna it's gonna have to be pass rush. I'm taking Mike Green from Marshall. It's productive. I hope the character issues won't be a problem. But the Falcons have needed a pass rusher forever, it seems like. And I hear Mike Green's name on the radio because I live in Atlanta, obviously. Cardinals, yeah, Will Johnson is a be a great fit. I'm gonna go Kelvin Banks so they can get another offensive lineman, so Murray will have more time to throw the ball, and he can go opposite side of Paris Johnson. Or what I would do is put Banks at left tackle, Johnson at right tackle. But Cardinals go BPA, and take Calvin Banks. So for the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going Shamar Stewart. They need an edge rusher. I think Hendrickson's going to be the odd man out. He's going to leave after the end of the season, or they can just franchise tag him. But he's a big body defensive end that can learn behind Hendrickson for 1 year. I know the production is not there, but he has a lot of upside, and I trust that he can turn into something special. But he's the one guy that I think could be a bust out of the top 17 picks. With the 18th pick, I'm going to go ahead and take Gray Zabel. I know Burker's more of a pure guard, but I've seen Zabel as high as 11 in Daniel Jeremiah's draft. And it's good to have guys that can play all over. And the Seahawks take them, you know, interesting prospects always. So, and they need help badly. So they're going to get Zabel, in my opinion. With the 19th pick for the Buccaneers, I'm not letting Will Johnson fall anymore. They get another good corner. I really don't know who the number one corner is anymore. But Will Johnson can turn into their big name number one corner. I'm not concerned about his injuries at all, but I personally don't think he's fallen past 19. For the Denver Broncos, this was tough between Colston Loveland and Amarion Hampton. Consensus is Amarion Hampton, but Loveland would be a good fit. I really don't think Loveland is gonna be available at 20. So I'm just gonna go consensus Amarion Hampton. Pittsburgh Steelers, turn that card in Shedeur Sanders. That's a steal of a pick at 21. At 22, perfect Loveland Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. I think between him and Kenneth Grant, Harbaugh would choose Loveland over Kenneth Grant. 23, I think the Packers pick is going to be Ezraku. They want a more productive defensive end, and there's no receiver that I think is worth taking. Like if Golden was still on the board, I would take Golden, but they could always trade up for Golden. I just didn't predict them to trade up. But Ezraku is like a Packers type pick. And then at 24, I'm going to have the Minnesota Vikings trading the pick to the Kansas City Chiefs, who want to come up for an offensive tackle. So we're going to send 95 in the third round. Come up to 24, and we're taking Josh Simmons. I love Josh Simmons as a prospect. There's the left tackle of the future for the Kansas City Chiefs. So now the Texans are pissed off because Simmons just went. But Casario is going to say, let's beef up my interior and get Tyler Booker. He's a pure mauler. And it looks like they want Titus Howard as a tackle instead of a guard. So they're going to need somebody to play guard. Somebody good, at least. For the Los Angeles Rams, now this one, I'm going to do something that nobody's predicting. And I'm going to take Jackson Dart to sit behind Stafford and learn for a year. And he's more of a mobile quarterback. He's more mobile than Kenny Pickett, but I know he's getting a lot of comparisons to Kenny Pickett. For the Baltimore Ravens, there's no. I don't think they would like James Pierce. There's only one player left on the board, and that's Malachi Starks. NFL Network said they interviewed him, and they could tell that he's got Raven written all over him. Ravens might as well have two versatile safeties to stop down to shut down Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, because that's who they keep losing to, and those two quarterbacks have good passing attacks in their offenses, right? So why not go get Starks? Have the best secondary in the league. For the Detroit Lions, I'm gonna go with James Pierce Jr. He's a productive defensive end, really athletic. Um, they need another defensive end. There's no doubt about it. And Pierce is the guy that I personally like over guys like Ezraku and uh do I like him? Oh yeah, Shamar Stewart. I like him better than those two. But that's just my opinion. For the Washington Commanders, I was gonna see if there was a team that would want to come up to the first round and get a quarterback. But at 29, the Washington Commanders have Bobby Wagner. He's very old. Other than that, they don't really have much. I think they have. Do they have Cody Barton? I'm not sure. But also pass rush. They need a pass rusher. There's no edge rusher on the board. The next edge rusher is Scorton. I'm not liking him as a first round guy. Um, but Jahad Campbell has played edge rusher before, and he can take over in Bobby Wagner's position in a year and learn behind him. See, I wanted to put him to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 19, but I didn't want to let Will Johnson fall anymore because, like, other than like 22, I don't think he's gonna fall to 22. I mean, he could, but I had to end the fall of Will Johnson right there at 19. So it would still be a really good idea, a really smart idea for him to learn behind Levante David. But here in this scenario, I have him learning behind Bobby Wagner for a year. For the Buffalo Bills, I am gonna go BPA. I know they have Ed Oliver and a lot of other defensive tackles on their roster, but I really like Derek Harmon as a fit to the Buffalo Bills. They can develop him to be, a good number two. Everybody saw how the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? Well, might as well do the same thing, right? Take take another defensive tackle in the first round, Buffalo. Help get to the quarterback. For the Minnesota Vikings at 31, I'm also gonna go BPA here. I know they just signed two veterans, but there's injuries in the league, obviously. It's good to have really good depth. And again, imitate what Philadelphia did. I know Eamon Warrior's on the board. Maxwell Harrison. I think best player available go Kenneth Grant, especially if you're trading down because you only have 4 picks. You might as well trade down. For the Philadelphia Eagles, I think um, everybody thinks, oh, some steal is gonna fall to them. Connerly would be a genius because he could step in a right tackle when Lane Johnson retires. Scoring is a possibility. Donovan Jackson, maybe. Egbuka if Brown is going eventually. But I'm just going to go Eamon Warrior because they traded away CJ Gardner Johnson, the Texans. And yeah, that's my mock draft, and I feel really confident. I feel really confident. So I will post this on my Twitter and Instagram, unless you want to go, in case you want to go look it up and follow along. Because my mock draft is definitely better than Jeremiah's. Definitely better. But yeah, I hope my Patriots either get Carter or take Ashton Genty, but I don't think that's happening. And I'm not gonna continue after 32. I'm gonna post a video tomorrow for my pro- projected mock draft for 2 and 3 because there could be a lot of trading. There could be Ramsey or Hill traded, and then the Dolphins have another second round pick. So I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow to do that. I'm gonna wait and see what happens tonight. But there's my first round mock draft. Let me know what you think. And I appreciate the ones who took the time to watch the video and enjoy the draft, guys. Goodbye.